Hey there, Mopar fans. A little update here on Memorial Weekend. Been working on it for a few days. No videos, just because it's all, really boring, tedious detail work. But I just thought I'd update you with where I'm at on this project. We've gotten the windshield area cleaned up really well, pretty much ready for glass. And I did some Bondo work on the roof to pillar connections that are left by the manufacturer exposed whenever it's a vinyl roof. And since I'm converting this to a hard top, I had to do some work on that just to get a basic shape, close enough to where finished bodywork can be done to it to make it ready for paint. It is not by any means ready for paint, but it's pretty close. It's not far off. It wouldn't take a whole lot of work to get it perfect or close to perfect. I've also done some work on the engine bay. I did some sandblasting on some of the frame rail and had the car lifted and kind of got the stuff that is easier dealt with the car being raised on the lift and sprayed and cleaned up. And I'm going to do some more, but basically I've got the engine bay ready to sandblast and get it ready for paint, so that the rust is encapsulated, dealt with, cleaned off as much as possible, and then encapsulated with an encapsulator. I'm going with a matte black in the engine bay. I don't really intend to bring this car back to perfection. I just want to deal with the most important basic stuff that you should do when you're restoring a car, which is the foundation of what happens later on, which is the rust mitigation. You got to deal with that rust. You paint over rust, it's just going to bubble up, and it'll just keep rusting. So you got to deal with that before you throw paint on it. And so what I'm using in the engine bay will be a matte black that can be painted if someone ever wants to take this to a fully restored, near perfect show car kind of thing. I'm going to get it close, but I'm going to get all of the most important basic stuff dealt with, your base that you're working with, because my intention has always been to sell this car. I'm going to drive it. I'm going to enjoy it for a while, but my intent has always been to sell it. And so that's why I'm doing the work on it and doing it right. Whoever gets this car after me is going to have a fantastic base to start with, and won't really have to do a lot of work. They'll just, depending on how deep their pockets are, I can pick a really custom paint and upholstery, things like that, to really bring it to show quality if that's what they want to do. And they're not going to have to, which, really, the stuff I'm doing is pretty expensive. If you pay a shop to do what I'm doing, you're going to pay quite a bit of money. And that's what I'm doing to get that taken care of, and then whoever takes it from me can take it to that, like I said, show quality, if that's what they choose, or whatever. I mean, whoever buys it, whatever they choose to do with it, that's up to them, but they'll have a great thing to start off with when I'm done with it. All right, so I'm gonna stop the camera, flip it around, and just kind of show you the work that I've done, maybe narrate the spots, get you up to date, and then maybe when I get that done and it's painted, show you that finished product. And then I'm moving on to putting the engine in and working on getting that running. And so anyway, without further ado, I'll switch this camera around. All right, here we go. So as you can see, like I said, I've got that transition from the roof to the pillar pretty well cleaned up, bondoed in, and shaped fairly decent. Won't take a lot of work to get it to perfection. And the same with the passenger side, same condition, ready to go. I've got, of course, lots of more rust mitigation to deal with on the roof which will be after I get the car running. I just wanted to get this done so that I don't have to worry about it in the future. And if I decide to put the windshield in after I get the engine in, this part's already taken care of. And let's see here. You can see some of, let's see, maybe if I adjust this camera a bit, you can see some of the sandblasting I've already done to the underside, and now I've got everything kind of sealed off, ready to sandblast the rest of the engine bay and get all of the rust, or as much rust to take care of as I can, before I put the rust encapsulator on it. There you can see the frame rail. It's cleaned up pretty nice. I got a lot more work to do, but I just wanted to see how much work it would take. Not taking as much as I thought. It's a lot of surface rust, and that's been fairly easy to deal with. All right. So yep, that's the update. That's where we're at. I'm going to do some sandblasting for the next couple of days, get it really cleaned up, get that rust really taken care of, and then encapsulated. And then we'll move on to putting in that engine, which I'm, chomping at the bit to do. I may throw in some front end parts before I do the engine, just because I like to have plenty of room to work. If you've worked on any imports, and many of the newer cars these days, it's just crazy how difficult it is to work on those cars. There's just no room. And so whenever I have an opportunity to work on something with maximum room, I'm all over it. It's a nice respite from the no space to work thing. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Appreciate you following the job as it goes, and I'll produce something here eventually, not too far off, with an updated status of this car. Thanks for watching. Bye.